1,422 selfies are posted on Instagram every second. A cat video is watched on YouTube every 7 minutes. A shitty EDM song is streamed on Spotify every 18 minutes. 132 pictures of people's meals are posted on Facebook every minute. And an unsolicited dick pic is texted every 23 minutes. Social media is a disease. Golan-Globus Theta is the cure.
Thank you, Stallone, for sending us that.
I know, man. It's like I'm glad he took the time out from his busy schedule to just do that intro for us. I'm really flattered by that.
We sent him over all those very scientific facts. We did extensive research on it. I myself sent out a couple unsolicited dick pics to add to the 23 minutes, and I got to tell you, people don't like it. So if we could all come together for the holiday season and stop sending unsolicited
you did have
dick
mistletoe
pics.
on your dick, so it was kind of...
It was festive.
Merry.
You know, I was trying to go with the whole, like, put dick back in Christmas, Merry Dickmas, you know.
You decked the balls.
I decked
with balls of holly.
Thank you. You see, you're bailing me out here because I'm flopping here. I'm failing.
La.
Oh, God.
You know, that it reminds me, Griff. You know, I don't know if you're aware of this, but there's a big controversy going on. He's going on the internet. Real people aren't talking about this. But apparently, Baby It's Cold Outside is like a date rape song now. I thought it was just a Christmas song.
I get it.
I don't get it at all. But I don't want to talk about it because I don't care.
Good.
But I do want to know, what's your least favorite holiday song, Christmas song, whatever?
Dude, I don't even know. I have tuned out of the holiday song game for so long.
But you're aware of holiday songs. I'm not talking about it. It doesn't have to be a new one. It could be 100.
I know.
What's the difference between a carol and a Christmas song?
I thought carols were when people came and sang them at you.
Well, that could be anything. I mean, I guess any song could be a carol if I sang it at
As far as I know, yeah, that's
Isn't
true.
it like I don't know, maybe carols are about Jesus, the Christmas songs are actually about what Christmas is about? I don't know.
Maybe.
Well, I'm going to tell you my least favorite one. I hate almost all Christmas
We expended
songs.
our research resources on the facts earlier, so I can't help here.
I fucking hate Santa Baby.
Oh, yeah.
I can't fucking stand that song.
I mean, I'll agree with you.
But fingernails on a chalkboard to me. Stop playing it. And I'm really starting to hate that George Michael song, which wasn't even that big of a hit when it came. Maybe in England it was a big hit.
Which one is that?
Last Christmas I gave you my
Oh
heart.
yeah, I think I like that.
I
one,
hear
actually.
that more now. Is that your favorite one?
That one's my favorite.
My favorite one is there's two. Of course, Christmas in Hollis from Run DMC.
Okay.
And then fucking King Diamond's No Presents for Christmas.
No
man.
Presents for Christmas.
I think we you know what, we need to finish the show with No Presents for Christmas.
I think I can do that. I think I was planning to.
Okay, that's good to know.
I think the only Christmas song I really like is some of the stuff from Peanuts. It's just joyful.
Yeah, I'm not going to knock that.
Outside of that, I really don't know what I don't like because it's on in its background and I just get over it.
Well,
so,
I don't know.
I can't.
I'm very much aware of my surroundings, and
yeah.
whenever I'm in like a store and I hear Santa Baby, it's almost like our buddy Mr. Pigeon, who has to leave the room every time Feliz Navidad plays.
Yeah, you gotta.
It's getting there to me.
Hippopotamus for Christmas is pretty fucking grating.
Yeah,
that one's really rough. So,
but you know what, Griff? What isn't rough? What's amazing? The greatest Christmas present of all time.
I bet you're gonna say Die Hard right about now.
No, that's a good movie.
Huh?
That's a great Christmas movie.
But that's the only action Christmas movie out there.
Well, there's Lethal Weapon, another great Christmas movie.
Oh, that one gets swept under the rug, apparently. I didn't realize.
You didn't realize that was a Christmas movie?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, there's actually a scene where he busts some drug dealers in a Christmas tree, whatever you call it, where they sell Christmas trees.
You know what else is? Evasion USA.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
What
the fuck?
So why is everybody jocking? I mean, look. Die Hard's a great movie. I'm not going to, but why is everyone just jocking Die Hard? Like, there's a lot of great action Christmas movies.
Wow.
I'm glad I totally forgot. Invasion USA is a Christmas movie.
Man, apparently research money's back on here.
But the greatest Christmas movie of all time is Cobra. Thanks for that slide. Slide came in just to do that, Cobra. Because it does take place at Christmas time. There's a Toys R Us, rest in peace Toys R Us commercial in the movie.
It's got a lot of joyous scenes in it.
Joyous product placement. I never realized how much this was a movie I saw when it came out. And I'm on record. I was a Schwarzenegger guy.
You are.
But I could have swore, the intro that Slide just did for us a minute ago.
Yeah.
The intro to this movie, which is very similar. I could have swore that was like a teaser trailer. 'Cause I remember vividly. I couldn't find it on the internet. I found the one we're gonna play, but I could have swore there was like a teaser before that one came out where they just showed that scene where he's like listing off statistics, crime statistics.
Yeah,
couldn't find it. Maybe it's in I'm just making it up. But I remember seeing that and I was like, holy shit! I'm a Schwarzenegger guy. I gotta fucking see this movie.
Yeah, no, it definitely sold itself well. And it did well.
And I had the movie poster on my wall as a kid.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I'm not even joking. I did have this movie poster.
What is the poster for
It's
this?
him just standing there with a machine gun with a laser.
Yes,
thing.
that's right.
Yeah,
of course.
I think,
like waist up.
Yeah.
Kind of coming out of
I think it even said like crime is a disease.
Yeah.
But let's just get to it, Greg, because I know everyone listening is tired of our nattering about Christmas carols, and they want to hear it. So let's get into it. Sylvester Stallone's Golan-Globus classic, Cobra.
Society is breeding a new kind of criminal. It's also breeding a new kind of cop. Meet Cobra. He does the job nobody wants.
Did you use unnecessary deadly force?
I used everything I had.
Do you know you have an attitude problem?
Yeah, but it's just a little one. You think you would recognize me if you saw him again?
The tall one?
Yeah. The one that wants to kill you.
Do what you have to do to get a lead on this maniac.
And if I find him?
Do what you do best.
Stallone is Cobra, the strong arm of the law.
All right, welcome back. Thanks, Sly, for sticking around and hitting us with some more lead-ins and lead-outs and whatever else you're gonna do here today. But we got to go over a couple of quick facts here. We got to give people a little backstory. And first of all, this movie was first intended to be Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah, I remember reading about that.
Yeah, Stallone was set to be Axel Foley, but of course, because Stallone has better sight of movies and how they should be written, he rewrote basically the whole thing, removed every comedy bit, which is kind of funny because he added so many weird comedy bits to this movie.
Yeah.
But it was just about murder. It stripped all the fun out. So, we ended up with Cobra.
Well, he was going to adapt a book called Fair Game.
Yeah, I mean, it's still considered to be loosely based on Fair Game.
Even though, I don't know, nobody's ever read the book Fair Game, but apparently... This is what I thought was bizarre. So he changed it so radically. He actually wanted to be when they re-released the book. He wanted to be listed as the writer.
When he demanded that they re-release the book,
right?
And he said, "I need to be co-author on it,"
because he changed it so much. Because apparently, I've never seen this movie, and I don't plan on ever seeing it. The book was made into a movie called Fair Game. The one movie Cindy Crawford starred in.
Yes,
and I don't know. I've never seen it. Maybe it's similar to Cobra, but I didn't get that vibe when it came out.
From the sound of it, it isn't. Because, again, like you said, it was Stallone's version of the book is so far gone that it was like, why do you want your name on this book? Your script is so different from it. But
because he wanted some money, because he figured, there was a lot of money in novelization back in the 80s.
Apparently, I mean, you said it yourself. Who actually read the book?
Yeah. No.
He probably would have done her a favor.
Yes, well, we were reading this. We just realized this was Stallone at peak douchiness. Like he was like at the peak of his fame. So he thought he's I'm a god. He's Hammer.
Oh,
he could do whatever the fuck he wanted to
totally
do.
There's a lot of similarities between him and Hammer.
It's very Seagal-esque behavior from Stallone.
Yeah, I mean, there's stories of him on the set just like completely dogging people, like. You know, we were talking about the villain of this movie. He's trying to, like, get tips. He's asking everybody.
Well, first of all, they made him audition 7 times for the role. And they thought he was no good because he was too nice.
Stallone was like, yeah, that guy's too nice.
And then, do you remember why they was like, fuck, we can't find anybody, so they just gave him the role?
Yeah, they brought him in again. They're just like, hey, we want to shoot today, so can we just use this guy? And Stallone...
And the guy, the character, Night Flasher, was played by Brian Thompson, who is like he's a career henchman. He was a henchman in a ton of like 80s
got, like,
movies.
The scarred poppy kind of face. He's perfect for it.
So this was his, like, I think this is his only like starring villain role.
Probably.
But he was a henchman in almost every movie in the 80s. So I think he's like, this is my big break. He was taking it very seriously.
Yeah. And again, I thought he was good. I liked him in it.
Well,
he's creepy.
Stallone didn't agree because when he was like really like taking the role seriously. So he went to Stallone because basically, even though Stallone's not listed as a director, he took over the project and was like he directed it. Basically,
it's been noted in various documentation. It's not just Stallone coming out saying yeah, I directed it. Everybody else involved with the film was basically like, no, he was the true director.
Yeah. So Brian Thompson went up to him and he was like, what's my motivation? What's the backstory to this like character? Like I'm trying to develop a character. He's like, oh, he's evil, evil. He's like, get the fuck out of here. And then when the climactic scene where Night Slasher makes his speech, he had to talk to he had to do his lines to an extra because Stallone was watching a basketball game.
Yeah, they had a stand-in come in so Stallone.
But in his defense, basketball in the 80s was really fucking good.
It was a big deal back then. So he's got his priorities, and he's not wrong. One of the other big things about this movie, most people are familiar with it, know this. It was originally a 2-hour movie. 2 hour, 10 minute, 130.
Yeah.
And what happened to all that time? Because it was cut down to 84 minutes. Well,
that was 87. 84?
I came across 84, so I'm going with that number. But
maybe that's without the credits. 84.
Yeah. So there might have been some scenes of like exposition and stuff left on the floor. In fact, there's a little bit, but most of it was just from very violent scenes. Or references to very violent scenes.
Yeah, it got like an X rating originally.
It originally got an X rating.
Because there's no nudity or sex at all in this movie.
There was originally.
There was?
Yeah. Oh. So there's the one autopsy scene where there's a naked woman on there. Okay. Apparently they used a lot more footage of that, and there was a lot more dead women bodies in there, and they just get right up in the butts there. There's axe swings to faces, so apparently that was pretty gruesome.
That was the weapon of choice for our villains.
Yep.
The slashettes or something, what they're called.
Yep, and of course, when they go to the hospital later on, far more kills in that scene. There's like off-screen kills in that, I believe, but in the original, there was a lot more on-screen.
And apparently there is a print of this movie, somewhere out there. Yeah. I'd like to check it out. I'd actually like to see it.
Oh no, that'd be great.
Because there's I guess Menachem Golan was like freaking out because there was a lot of competition that summer. So he's like, we need to make our money, so cut it down to 90 minutes so we can get one extra showing every day in the theaters. So they just slashed it. So there's a shitload of montages in this movie.
Yeah. And then, when a scene was longer for more violence, they just slowed it down. So there's a lot of slow motion, too. Yeah. So a lot of stuff to watch out for if you're watching this for the very first time.
Yeah, I didn't know any of this shit before I saw it.
Apparently Stallone was a huge dick, as mentioned. He didn't want to be in scenes. He got called out by the cinematographer, and supposedly had a sense of humor. Yeah, because
Stallone was like, hey, let's get this shit on the road. And they're like, the guy's like, if you weren't fucking around trying to impress Brigitte Nielsen, we could get some shit done.
Yeah, you're in your trailer fucking Brigitte Nielsen, bragging about it to your bodyguards all day.
And then there was supposed to be a scene that took place on a boat, and apparently that time of year where they were filming, there were some mosquitoes. And he's just like, cut the scene. Nope. Fuck it. We're not doing it.
We're done.
I was like,
So, no Laserdisc version of this, I don't think. Because you would think if there was a Laserdisc, it would have been the full movie.
I hope there is a Laserdisc in the future. I mean, I've noticed after almost every movie we do, like the hidden gems we find.
Oh yeah,
they almost always release a Blu-ray right afterwards.
Yeah,
so I'm hoping we get the uncut
Cyborg, 10 to Midnight, and you guys, if you're fans of those movies, you're welcome. We're pretty much giving it to ourselves. We got those movies reprinted on Blu-ray.
We got Laserdisc to come back. Well, that's got to be the next like hipster trend, because now there's kind of like that trend. They'll release a DVD and they'll also release a VHS version, like a very limited amount.
Yeah,
we need to get that Laserdisc version.
Now they're doing like tapes and everything for new albums and stuff.
Right.
They love it, but
you know what I love, Griff? I love Cobra. So let's get into the movie. So we start out with that brilliant monologue where Stallone's listing off all these statistics, which apparently were super fucking like over what they really were.
Well, yeah, I can't imagine there was 256 rapes a second. I mean, numbers like that.
It was like 5,203 pickpockets every week. I don't know. Yeah, it was very off.
Very off.
But it was a different time in the 80s. We were scared of everything. We were in the Cold War. It was scary.
Exactly.
So then we also get this great scene. We see Stallone on his motorcycle you see a silhouette driving down the road.
It's very Sin City. It's just red background, black motor.
It is very Sin City. Yeah. I think that this movie inspired Sin City.
Probably.
And between that, we're in the lair of the Night Slasher, who's our villain. So it's just like this giant like sewer room, I guess. I don't know what word.
It looks
water treatment plants. I thought it
looked factory-ish to me.
It could have been. I don't know. I got a sewer vibe.
Either way, we get a second glimpse of it. So.
Well, I will give the Night Slasher some credit. He's very about diversity. There's like a nerdy, like middle-aged dad who's there, and they all got these giant like fireman axes, and they're clanging them together. I think they're doing "We Will Rock You."
No, definitely.
Yeah.
Everyone knows the beat.
Yeah. Well, they do now. I just told them it.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And
I forgot it a minute there.
Yeah. It's a very complex beat.
Did you know that Queen has a movie out?
I'd never heard of them.
Okay, good.
So we're setting. I mean, this is where I think Stallone was in the editing room, too, because he knows how to just take it down to the bare bones, what you need to know to enjoy this movie.
He had his hands in every piece of that pie.
So they're doing their thing. Stallone's doing his thing, and then we cut to a supermarket.
It's just a normal day. You got a dude out there. He's got this deep V unbuttoned shirt on. He's fighting with his wife, but then there's this creepy guy walking into the grocery store.
I wrote down Edward James Olmos Jr. because he looks like a young version of Edward James Olmos with a very craggy. Yes, you do.
I'll take your word for it.
You do know who he is. You just don't know who he is.
Okay.
First of all, the guy's a piece of shit because he parks his car in a handicap parking. So,
yes.
So these little things Stallone peppers in to just get this guy's a bad hombre.
Exactly. Everyone's trying to greet him, Merry Christmas. Again, this Christmas movie. And he's just like giving them evil eyes and kind of like shushing them off. Everyone's getting a nasty vibe from him, and for good reason.
Because he whips out a shotgun. And there's a hostage situation.
Yeah.
He starts firing the shotgun at everything. Shit's flying everywhere.
Well, he knows about the romaine lettuce callback, so he shoots up the lettuce.
There's a lot of fruit abuse going on.
A lot of fruit abuse. I love when he shoots the grocery cart and it flies into the air like it exploded.
Well, apparently, I didn't see it. Who are these people that find this shit? Because I don't notice any of this shit, but I looked on IMDb. There's a goof. You can actually see whatever the thing they use to launch the thing
nice.
If you watch it. If you watch on Laserdisc, you can totally see it.
There is a Laserdisc.
Yeah, I didn't watch the Laserdisc version last night. I didn't have time because it's a big production to get the Laserdisc ready. But yeah, so this guy's nuts. We got the SWAT team comes out. The place is surrounded by all these cops. And you think this is the job that SWAT team is made for? No. Because We get the police captain. We meet Officer Monty, this fucking weaselly fuck.
Yeah, the captain reminds me of just like a principal from an 80s teenager show.
He probably did play a principal on the show.
Yeah.
And he's like, you figure the SWAT team could handle this. This is what they're for.
Exactly.
And he's just like, nope, not happening. Get me the Cobra. So I don't know anything about cars. You know, we should be ashamed of ourselves for being from Detroit. We don't know anything about cars. But there's a key, of course, because he's an 80s
car buff.
Well, he's an 80s action hero. He's got to have the fly, old school car.
Yeah.
He drives...
It's like a 50s car.
Right. Like,
which plays into
I want to say a DeSoto, but it's not a DeSoto.
Yeah.
But and he drives... It's a PT Cruiser.
I think it's an Amaretto.
So he drives up, got the fucking vanity plate, says awesome on it, which it's a little kind of...
A little bit. You're kind of getting the vibe that this guy's a piece of shit.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
I mean, the cop already told us, like, that asshole. So
yeah, but Monty is a fucking bitch.
We kind of get the vibe.
You can tell he's just so jealous of fucking Cobra. Because Cobra works on the zombie squad.
Yeah.
Which apparently, according to my research I did, was actually a thing that existed in like Denmark, where they would let... I believe this is total horseshit, but the idea was there was a squad that's job was to deal with like crazy fucking people, and they were allowed to do whatever the fuck they would. Whatever you need to do to bring these people in, do it.
Wow, okay.
So that was the idea that Stallone got for the zombie squad.
Okay, so maybe he heard about this Denmark thing too.
I think he did. And so he drives up because he's the only guy who can handle this.
I mean, the SWAT could surround the place. There's multiple entries. No. But Stallone can just walk right in the door.
Yes.
Walks right in the front door.
Well, before he walks in the door, the fucking I don't think he even had a name. This the sleaze bag. He tells the guy, "You can leave." And the guy's like, he knows something's up, but he's like, "Fuck it, if I got a chance."
We need to show off how evil this man is.
So he just starts fucking running, and just as he's about to turn the corner, gets shot in the back.
Shot right in the back.
So this guy he's playing for keeps.
Oh, he's such a turd. So Stallone just walks in, and he's just walking down the aisles. He's having so much fun. Like I said, Beverly Hills Cop, fun movie. He stripped all it out to make it an action movie. This movie is an action movie, but he decided to punch it up with a lot of silly parts. So he's like going through the aisles like, I forgot to pick this up the other day. He rounds one aisle, and this had to be the birth of product placement.
Yeah.
Because he is standing with so much Pepsi.
Well, he's also in front of a Coors lights display.
Yeah, he grabs a nice Coors, takes a good sip.
Shows with the label pointing out at the camera.
Oh, yeah. And, of course, he's like, oh, man, I got a refill on.
He's like, it's refreshing.
That's a tap of the mountain. And so he uses that can as bait. He chucks it out, and, of course, all trigger-happy henchmen.
Well, this guy, I think this guy, he's heard about Cobra, and he knows the Cobra is in the supermarket. So he's fucking nervous as shit now. He was in control, and now he's not in control.
I mean, he was looking at the front door. He should have saw Cobra come in.
Right.
Didn't, so that is frightening. So
I also did love I knew this was another like Stallone touch. The scene where he's walking down an aisle, it's a freezer aisle, and the freezer doors are open, so there's all this like
fog.
Small,
yeah. My favorite is the poor man in the wheelchair who's just like hunched over in his hands. He looks so sad. I was like, get that guy a fucking award.
Yeah, I know, it's great acting.
Killed it.
And so these guys, it's like our heroes are always about mind games first.
Always.
You break them down mentally, and then you can break them down physically. So Stallone gets on the PA system over there. He's like, "Hey, you dirtbag," He's like, "I'm gonna blow this place up." I don't care. I don't shop here. So he's just hammering us with some one-liners. It's like an Andy Sedaris movie. Tons of groan-worthy one-liners.
Oh yeah.
And then I don't know how he worked this out. Somehow he gets behind the guy. He's like in the deli section.
Yeah.
And he just bursts out with a fog machine behind him.
Yep.
And he's like, "Drop it, you creep!" And so there's like a standoff. They both got guns pointed at each other.
Yeah, like the bad guy, he's got it like he's got his shoulder tucked away from him. He's kind of hiding the gun, and then he's got like another gun in his left hand. I don't even remember.
I thought he had a bomb in his left hand.
That's right, he had a bomb, and he's like, "I'm gonna blow." Yeah, Yeah.
Because he is a member of the Night Slashers cult, and he's just like, we are the future. That's their taglines, we are the future.
He's trying to say, like, the whole world is diseased, and they're going to cure it.
Yeah,
with,
they're going to cleanse the world, and they're going to take over.
I mean...
We don't know because Stallone cut out, like, 30 minutes of probably scenes that actually explained a lot of this.
Yeah, exactly. I think G&G had a good hand in that, too. They were like, look...
Well, yeah, definitely. They're like,
we're going to make this nice, clean... on-the-go, drive-through movie.
So this is where Stallone says his first one-liner, the line that we just heard earlier in the episode, "You're a disease, and I'm the cure." And instead of shooting him, he puts the gun down.
He, gets him with a knife.
Yeah, so I think he
and then the guy tries to come around with his gun, but it's as Stallone is saying, "Freeze, scumbag!" He throws a knife into his chest, and he's like, put it down, and he's shooting him while he's saying, put it down. It's like, no,
he empties his gun into the guy.
Yeah.
And another goof on the IMDb, when he throws it, it hits his chest. When you see him later on, it's in his side.
Of course, yeah.
And then it's like, all right, it's done. And of course, Monty's out there, the sniveling coward. He's like, these people have rights. They don't have any rights.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also there's also a very traumatized girl, and then he just puts his hand out to her, and she's totally instantly like, I'm over it.
It was very interesting, that scene, because it's all this noise and explosions and things falling, but that moment it's silent, and he picks her up. That was like an Emmy moment right there. That's beautiful direction right there.
Well, it was Stallone. Yeah,
he knows what he's doing.
Stallone knows how to direct action.
I mean,
I'll give it to him.
He directed 4 Rocky movies up to this point.
He knows what he's doing. So we got that fucking bitch Monty. He's just like, oh, these guys have rights.
Everybody's getting in his face. Reporters are getting in his face. You can't just kill somebody like that. And he fucking gets the reporter by the collar. He's like, that guy in there just killed a child. The child's coming by on a gurney with his face blown off, and he pulls the sheet back. I think they showed it.
He's like, tell his family about rights.
Yeah, I think they showed it in the X-rated version. The child's face just all disfigured. But yeah, he's like, dude, this kid about that. So everyone's giving him shit, but Stallone knows what he did was right.
Right.
So he's gonna
criminals don't deserve to have rights.
Exactly. So he hops back in his car.
Takes off back to his sex pad.
Exactly. We gotta go see his sweet-ass sex pad. And, of course, the sweet-ass Pepsi sign, because you know what? This movie is sponsored by Pepsi Cola.
Yeah. But first, he noticed there's some Cholo guys in their lowrider that are parked in his spot. And you don't do that to Cobra.
No.
So he just nonchalantly just pushes their car up with his car.
Plenty of parking on this street. He pushes them up a full half a block. Plenty of parking, but that was his spot.
Yeah, and apparently these guys don't know Cobra because they start fucking with him. Like, hey, man, what's up with you?
Snatches the cigarette out of his mouth.
And then, and then he just rips the fucking Cholo guy's shirt off.
Did you notice he was wearing a wire?
Yeah, that was another goof that was in the IMDb. I didn't notice it, but I did read about it.
I was like, is that supposed to be like he's an informant?
No, he had a microphone.
I like to believe that he was an informant.
Okay.
Because why else would he not pick a fight?
So he wasn't an informant. He's an undercover guy, and they're helping his cover because it's like if a cop would never beat up another cop.
Exactly.
There you go.
The wire, though.
And it's like they're super cliche. He guys got a hairnet. It's like the most cliche.
It's so cliche.
And then then he's like going up to have some relaxing time in his apartment, which is a very modest apartment for a guy who's like saving the world.
Flips on his TV, of course. He's got to grab a little dinner first.
Well, they got the Toys R Us commercial playing. It's a Christmas commercial. So
full commercial. It's like a full minute-long commercial that we're just
going
to watch.
If only Toys R Us did that now, they wouldn't be bankrupt.
Fucking rip Toys R Us.
And this is where we get to the scene. Everyone who's seen this movie remembers this scene.
Most people who haven't seen this movie probably know this
You've
scene.
seen the GIF, definitely. So he goes to the fridge, pulls out a pizza box, pulls out a carton of eggs box, sits down at his desk.
Both in the freezer, by the way.
Both in the freezer. Opens it up. There's a slice of pizza. Opens up the egg pack carton. There's like a gun cleaning set in there.
Yeah.
Because this is what you do when you're on your off time, Cobra. You clean your gun and you eat your pizza.
I mean, his gun gets a lot of work. He's a part of the zombie squad.
Well, yeah. But you don't eat pizza like a normal person eats a pizza.
No.
You grab a pair of scissors and you just start cutting.
Yeah.
And it's funny. when I first saw this, I don't know. I was so mesmerized, I guess. I didn't notice how weird that fucking thing is. But when I watched it years later, I was like, what? What the fuck am I watching? Why? Like, was that like a spur of the moment? I got to believe it was. Like, Stallone was just like, because he was at the height of his power at the time. He was like, I'm going to change the way people eat pizza. And he just like cut the pizza with a pair of scissors. Because maybe he invented pizza rolls or whatever, like the bite-sized pizza things.
He definitely took improv classes. And he was setting up the camera himself, hitting record, running to the scene, and doing it. Like, I can't imagine anyone else was around. I think he just filmed this on his own.
This is what Cobra would do. I don't know. This is what he would do.
He's building a more interesting character. You're like, why did he do that?
Right. I'm intrigued instantly.
This is why I told you guys earlier. I
bet there was probably 15 more minutes that were cut out that explained it all.
I think he cut the whole pizza, and we only got to see the last slice. But seriously, the first 2/3 of this movie, way better than the last third. And it's all this building up.
People get ready to turn it off. So when we get 2/3 of this episode, turn it off.
Just turn it off.
But you know, Griff, that scene left such an impression on me that I had to do something.
I mean, I think I know where you're going with this. Because I've gone to the store and I noticed there's a hole in the market.
You're damn right there's a hole in the market. And you remember our buddy Steel Eagle, the corporation that sponsored us, our new Barbarians episode with the Doomsday Defender male chastity belt.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Well, because they know they're steel. And I needed something. I couldn't do this alone.
Yeah, this is a legit steel factory we work with.
Yes, they make this product in the factory at the end of this movie.
Ooh,
that's where it's made. So I got together with them. I talked with Stallone because we're tight. He just did the intro,
nice. And
we came up with Cobra cutters, Griff.
Oof.
These scissors. Now I don't even know if there's a word for it. 'Cause they're more than scissors.
Yeah, calling them scissors is an understatement, for sure.
Yeah. And fuck, what am I even trying to explain out? Let me just explain it to you this way. Does this ever happen to you?
Here we are, Saturday night, getting ready to sit down with some horror DVDs, nice big cheese pizza, all for me. But god damn it, that guy didn't cut the pizza right again. The slices, they're so big. And when I try to cut them myself, the edges are all ragged and the cheese goes everywhere. The toppings are falling off. It's just a damn mess. There's got to be a better way to cut these slices.
There is, young man, with Cobra cutters. Yes, from Steel Eagle, the maker of the world-famous Doomsday Defender male chastity belt, comes the latest in pizza cutting technology, Cobra cutters. The idea for Cobra cutters was born while watching the criminally underrated movie Cobra, where Sylvester Stallone's character Marion Cobra Cobretti, while cleaning his firearms, snacked on delicious bite-sized pieces of pizza with the use of a pair of scissors, a move that revolutionized the way we've eaten and thought about pizza ever since. Made from high-tensile stainless steel, Cobra cutters are the only way to properly enjoy pizza. Whether it be Neapolitan, Sicilian, New York style, Chicago style, pan pizza, thin crust, Detroit style, nothing can stop these scissors from cutting razor-fine edges. Day-old, week-old, hell, year-old, Cobra cutters will cut through any pizza like a hook through the back of a homicidal serial killer. Cobra cutters will dice your slice so nice you won't have to use it twice. And because they're stainless steel, they are guaranteed to never rust, even if your pizza is as greasy as a Nangchen tail. Scientific studies have proven that by using Cobra cutters, you can not only improve your pizza enjoyment, but also unlock hidden nutrients never before seen, which can improve and extend your life. But the benefits don't stop there. The very act of using Cobra cutters has been shown to eliminate gluten, the silent killer which has been plaguing mankind for the past 5 years. Cobra cutters are truly the only safe way to consume pizza. Since the invention of Cobra cutters, the amount of pizza-related deaths due to choking have decreased by a staggering 60%. You owe it to yourself to buy Cobra cutters. Now, a shiny new pair of Cobra cutters would usually cost you $40, but act now and they can be yours for the bargain basement price of $19.99, plus a nominal $30 processing fee. It's the perfect stocking stuffer. I guarantee you won't like Cobra Cutters. You'll love them. Go to SteelEagleSoaring.com for more information.
Oh, man, we're definitely going to be selling a lot of those. Do they come in left-handed?
Of course.
Oh, God, I thought you were going to say
People,
no.
it's the week before Christmas. This is the quintessential Christmas gift.
Oh, yeah.
Send your clappers back. Send your Chia Pets back. Get yourself a pair of Cobra
Chia
Cutters.
Pets has been advertising hard right now.
They always do, yeah.
Just fucking throw them in the dumpster. Get yourself some Cobra Cutters. But are we ready to cut back into this movie?
I like what you said there. Cut
Thank
back.
you. Well, we're going to cut to some Night Slasher exposition because Stallone is still hanging out, cleaning his gun, eating his little triangle.
Watching the
pizza.
news. He's hearing the stories about the Night Slasher. His 15th victim.
Yeah, they're just fucking mowing through the city. Where were they? L.A. at this point?
Yeah, it's L.A.
L.A. Always L.A. Here's the thing about it. She's talking about how they're using all these silent weapons. All the Night Slashers, they go out, they use hammers, and they use knives. And
axes.
They use axes. We have seen like 1 or 2 kills, or have we not seen any kills yet? No, we haven't seen any kills yet.
No, we haven't.
We're about to find out that these fuckers are not silent at all. And that's when we get to our first kill.
Okay.
So we got this waitress leaving work.
Right.
And then we've got these dudes pulling up the,
they got the pantyhose over their face.
Yep, they're
That's
rocking the hose before
very
they
creepy.
step to the mic.
You know, that was a very classic 70s and 80s like criminal thing to wear. Nobody, you don't ever see anybody with pantyhose in their face anymore.
Yeah,
it's a very creepy look. They should bring it back.
Oh yeah, it was unsettling for me seeing that again.
But they have eye holes cut in. They're smart enough to put the eye holes.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, they're gonna get a run.
They did.
So the waitress she gets into her car.
Right.
But then I believe Night Slasher pops up.
Well, they got their like pedophile van, which that they do all their business in.
Yeah. Did they have Lady Cop with them too?
I think they did. Yeah, they just stroll up on this chick. They just open up the back door, walk up to her, and she's in her car at this time.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, this is before cell phones, so she's fucked shit out of luck.
Oh my gosh,
because they just start hammering her car with these fucking fireman axes.
Like I said. They are not silent at all, despite what the news just said.
Yeah,
everybody should have been.
Well, they're all about
them.
terror, man.
And they absolutely are.
I gotta believe that the Night Slasher character was based on Richard Ramirez because he was the Night Stalker, the real life serial killer.
Oh,
because this was going on. His trial was probably going on at the time of this movie because he was like early '80s. He was like some shithead, like heavy metal dude.
So they blame heavy metal for.
Yeah, he was the Night Prowler, I think.
Prowler.
Yeah,
that sounds good. Because
there's like an AC/DC song that like it's called the Night Prowler because he would and he was like a Satanist and all this fucking retarded shit. And I think he's either been executed or he's in jail right now.
Okay,
but I think he was the inspiration for the Night Slasher, the Night Prowler.
So.
Or Night Stalker, I don't remember.
We get our first glimpse of Night Slasher's knife, which was a big deal because apparently Stallone had a guy custom make it to strike fear in hearts.
It did with me.
So now we've got this dead woman, and she's going to be having her body, the autopsy done.
Right.
And Stallone and his partner Gonzalez are there, and they're just kind of watching over, touching every instrument that's supposed to be clean.
Right. They're like a married couple. They've been together so long.
They're adorable. They're so fun together.
Like Cobra's all business, except when he's ripping out those one-liners. But
yeah,
Tony's there to like alleviate the tension. You know?
Yeah,
he's like the good cop to his badass cop.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Monty's there, Vice Principal Chief is there, and they're both like talking about it, and Stallone.
And he's like Monty's like, I don't care if he killed somebody, he has rights.
Yeah, still going on about it.
And he's like, whoever killed this guy has rights and should be treated respectfully. And Stallone's like, we gotta kill these guys. And it's like, I don't like your tones, Cobretti.
But Vice Principal Chief, he gets it, and he's just like, look. We need to let Cobra take over this case.
And he's like, and he's like, shush, Monty. Cobra's taking over.
We got to wait for a pattern to emerge. No.
No.
We need to wait for the zombie squad to tell us the case is solved.
Yes.
So
So, and then right in the middle, Cobra's so hyped. There's a shooting range in the middle of the office. I don't know what the fuck that's about.
Yeah.
Like, usually they're like in the basement or some shit. No, there's a shooting range in the middle of the police station. So Cobra walks right out of the fucking office of the captain, walks right into a shooting range, and just fires off like 10 shots into a target. All dead center.
It's like watching the news nowadays where you see the people working in the bullpens behind them.
Yeah.
You see people working on the phone, and then they all turn to watch Stallone. He shoots bullseyes every time.
Yeah, he shoots 10 bullets through the same hole.
I don't know if that's proper arm technique he was using there either, so I'll leave that up to, the gun folk out there. So we're going to go see Night Slasher. He's going to get himself another kill.
Right.
I don't even think he gets a kill. I think this was
he does get a kill, because what they do the move where you bump into someone's bumper, and then so you can like carjack. Usually it's a carjacking thing. Yeah. And then people get out to like exchange information.
That's right. And the lady was like, what are you doing? Why did you hit me? Are you drunk? You're drunk.
And he's like, I'm drunk on bloodlust.
Oh,
and they just hacks her with a fucking axe. And they just start chopping. And then I think the lady cop, Stalk, the lady cop was with them.
She is.
And there's hacking the shit. Meanwhile, Brigitte Nielsen, Ingrid, she's just driving back from a photo shoot. She's a model. And she's like, oh, what's going on there?
She's driving to the photo shoot.
Okay. And she looks over, and the Night Stalker's just standing there staring at her like a fucking like a psycho.
She locks eyes with our Night
Meanwhile,
Stalker.
the other guys are just chopping the chick up, and they're
deal.
getting her into the back of the van.
And then Officer Stalk, you hear her just go, get the plate.
Right. And like, it didn't even like, he pulled his mask off in front of her too. He's like, he just didn't give a shit.
I don't think Night Slasher ever wore a mask.
Yes, he did, but
he did?
He might not. I don't think in the scene
he
he
didn't
had
have the mask on in the scene. I don't remember him putting it on.
Yeah, he did wear it occasionally.
So she drives the fuck off, and of course Monty finally, because we got to go back to our cops. The scenes we've seen we got a witness now.
Well, wait, before they go to Monty, at this moment, we did not know that this really frumpy-looking chick, that's a member of the cult, is a cop. But we see a scene where she's in her uniform, and she's looking up. She's got the license plate. She's looking up, finding the address from Ingrid.
That happens, I think, like in this scene while they're talking to Monty in the office. Yes. Yeah, she's looking up the license plate. So Monty finally agrees to let Cobra off the leash. And, Stallone doesn't even care at this point. He already knows he's off the leash, so he's just giving his partner shit because he's eating like a candy bar or something. Right. Like, hey, too much sugar in your diet. Like, eat a plum.
Yeah, it makes you violent. Yeah, because Cobra's really the violent one. It's a little like great. It's the kind of humor we're dealing with.
There's
folks.
A lot of like, I'm calmer than you. I'm calmer than you, dude. So
this is where look. The next scene's a montage. Now, anybody could do one montage.
Yeah.
A select few, your Coppolas, your Scorseses, your Spielbergs could do a double montage. We get a fucking triple montage in this scene, and only Stallone could do this.
Yeah.
So that's why Stallone directed this, 'cause no one else could pull off this feat.
So what we get... I'll save the third one here, but we get investigating with Stallone
and Gonzalez taking it to the street.
And they're just like roughing people up.
Going to tattoo parlors or where scum lives.
A lot of cuts of tattoo parlors.
Tattoo parlors and transvestite like prostitutes. That was kind of...
I know we do the photo shoot. What was the other?
Other one was Night Stalker prepping. He was like sharpening his knife. He's always sharpening his knife on a whetstone.
That's right. And our officer's like standing over her like, we gotta get her.
She's like pumping him up. And
I will say this is probably the only read of Night Stalker I didn't enjoy because he's like, oh, get her. And he had like that stressed out Phil Collins looking face where he looks like he's about to pop.
Well, that's the thing. It's kind of orgasmic for him to murder. So he's just like, oh, I gotta kill.
Sharpening his knife is like foreplay for him. And he's like, I'm ready to fucking burst here. And then the third, a robot photo shoot starring Brigitte Nielsen herself. And she's just flaunting it up.
Got all these wigs on.
Yeah. So I asked myself, what is going on? I didn't just ask myself. I threw it up on Instagram. What is the deal with Sly and robots? Because just in Rocky IV that released the year prior, he had the robot. And now he's got more robots in this movie.
It's about technology. It's about the future. He's always thinking about the future.
There's a whole story behind it. He loves robots. He saw this guy talk, that robot that was in Rocky IV.
Yeah.
It's called Sicko. It's a Screen Actors Guild, actor. So he's got rights and everything. He's been in multiple movies.
What other movie is Sicko been in?
I couldn't tell you because I didn't write them all down because we don't have that kind of time.
Okay.
He was in an episode of Family Guy, that right there.
A robot?
Yeah.
That's a cartoon, though.
I know. They animated into the cartoon, but he still gets the right for that. He's got a name, Sicko.
Okay, I didn't know.
But it's because the guy who designed that robot designed it to talk to like disabled and like autistic children. Sly has an autistic child. So Sly contacted him and was like, "Can I use your robot in a movie?"
Wow, so Sly isn't so bad after all.
Yeah, Sly's...
He cares.
I mean, we talked about how he was kind of a dick, but he also had a sense of humor when people told him, "Stop being such a fucking asshole."
Sometimes he'd like, "Okay, I took it too far."
Yeah. But anyways, montage. We're making the montage long.
Well, I also want to point out for anybody who grew up in the 80s, the photographer he played the role of Sledgehammer, which was a parody of Dirty Harry. It was a TV show. It was kind of like Naked Gun kind of thing.
Okay.
But it was a parody of Dirty Harry. It's called Sledgehammer.
I like it. So now we got to catch up with Ingrid, who's getting ready to leave the photo shoot, and her boss is with her.
Yeah.
And that creep is just basically, he's Me Tooing the fuck out of her.
Yeah, this is a very problematic scene, I guess they would say nowadays, where he's just like, "Hey, you fuck me, I can get you some better jobs." And he doesn't say that, but he's basically saying that.
He's like, "You know you like me. Take me home. We'll get you some new jobs. We'll get you a couple $100,000.
But fortunately, Brigitte has too much dignity for that, and she's like, "Yeah, I don't think so." And
Yeah.
before it can go any further, Night Slasher just jumps out of nowhere with an axe and just starts hacking the shit out of this guy.
Oh, yeah.
He was offended by what that guy said.
He
He's like,
was.
"Look, I'm a psycho killer, but you don't treat a woman like that."
Yeah. That's why people are afraid of Antifa, because that's what they do. That's their tactic, is they jump out and they axe you.
Okay.
They don't ask questions first. They axe them afterwards. Because they kill with axe. Okay.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay.
So, and
Leaving
then
me out to dry again.
he takes a swing at Brigitte. She ducks, but they hit. Basically, thankfully, there's a steam pipe there because there's always a steam pipe.
Always a steam pipe.
And the steam goes flying, blinds him for a second, so Brigitte takes off.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, while that's going on, there's a security guard who she left her purse up at the photo shoot. So he's like, "Hey, your purse!" And then the elevator door's open. She runs in and she's like, "Push the button 5 on 5th floor." And he's just like, "What?" And then she's like, "Fuck it." And she runs away. Night Slasher gets in his pedo van, fucking slams right into the elevator, murders the fucking security guard.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah. Security guard. He just wanted to give her a purse.
Is that how they get the... Well, they already had her information from the car. Okay.
No, they just had. We just needed another kill.
So now Ingrid's going to end up in the hospital.
Yeah, because I guess the fire alarm goes off or something. So the cops start showing up. You can hear the siren. So he's like, "Let's get out of here!" And they take off.
So we got Ingrid in the hospital, and our boys, they're going to show up. Team Cobra and Gonzalez, Tony Cobra. I don't know what to call this. They need a couple name, Tony and Cobra.
Cobralas? I don't
Cobralas?
know. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. You just put me on the spot here.
It's tough. Yeah, I don't know.
And while they're talking, you can see Stalk, who's the ugly, dirty cop. She's lurking in the background.
Yeah, keep an eye on
we
her.
don't we know that she's involved with the Night Slasher. They don't.
Yeah, and I mean Cobra, they're barely even asking questions to Ingrid. They're talking about diet again. They're fiddling through all of her food. They're like, eat this cheese.
Yeah, because they're scamps. They're lovable little scamps. They're just.
He pumped this movie so full of comedy because he saw how good Beverly Hills Cop did, and he was like, "This is a good angle. Let's actually work some comedy in there."
Yeah, but none of it was funny.
What are you talking about? It's hilarious.
So they're like, "All right, we're gonna have to take you to a safe house." And she's like, "What?" He's like, "Until this creep is caught, you gotta go to a safe house, but you're gonna stay here for the night." Oh. And so he's like, "I got some research I gotta do at home. I'm gonna check it," because he's got his own Commodore computer at home with all the mugshots of everybody, every criminal in L.A.
Yeah, they get the
and the
sketch
fingerprints.
of the guy.
And so the sketch was it's like, dude, I guess you couldn't cut it in art school because it was like the worst sketch.
It was terrible.
It didn't even.
Like, I might be able to do it.
I think Rob Liefeld drew that one. If you're a comic fan, you'll get that joke.
Oh.
And so he's like, yeah, I get the sketch is enough. I'll find this creep.
Yeah. There's supposed to be armed guards.
Well,
at her
Gonzalez
door.
is supposed to be there. He's like,
Yeah.
he's like, don't worry, Cobra, I'll take care of it.
Yeah, they're supposed to be hanging out there, but maybe something happens, maybe something doesn't.
Well, so then we cut back to the Night Slasher. Stalk just. I love like the name's so cliche. She's Stalk because they're stalking her.
Yeah, I like
so
that.
she's like, at first I thought it was Stark, but Stalk. And so she's like lurking behind him. She's like, she's like you said, she's trying to pump him up. You gotta kill that bitch. And so he's looking in the mirror and he's got a comb with some hair dye. He's combing it through because he's got blonde hair. So he's darkening his hair because this guy looks totally different just with dark hair. He's like a fucking total psychopath.
He does. He slicks it all back too. He looks very proper, almost like he belongs.
Yeah. He doesn't look totally suspicious at all.
No,
just
not
with
at
black
all.
hair, he looks like a totally normal person.
I'd say the only thing he needs to really sell this is maybe like a janitor's outfit and some black glasses, like Superman it up.
Well, fortunately, there happens to be a janitor working at
What?
night.
You're kidding me.
Yeah.
I bet he's near the same height as him.
Yeah, there's like a 5'2" like Mexican guy, and Night Stalker's like 6'4", 6'5", 230 pounds.
I could barely notice the difference.
Yeah, so he just grabs it. And this was another scene I think that was cut because he just grabs the guy. We don't really see what he does.
It was, yeah.
We know he's dead because later we see that he's wearing the same coveralls that the janitor's wearing, and it fit perfectly. Snug, totally. Not even like all like chest out like our buddy Jade from Picasso Traeger.
Yeah.
He's got it all buttoned up.
So he's going to be out, he's looking for Ingrid. He has a couple false alarms, we see him stab into a bed, but it's the wrong one.
Right. Well, he's like lurking. Well, meanwhile, Cobra's at his crib. He's like checking out the database. He's got 2 monitors. One's got like fingerprints. One's got mugshots.
He's got like the see-through wall that you always see like military bases have in movies, and they have like the trajectory like lighting up and everything. He's got
like newspaper clippings on the bulletin board. He's got every cliche you can imagine.
It's so amazing.
He's got the red string connecting shit.
He's got a nice Pepsi ad there, just hanging out. And
there's a
Toys R Us
gigantic neon Pepsi sign right outside his window of his apartment. Why there would be that in his apartment building, I don't know, but there is.
I mean, if you open my fridge right now, it's just full of Pepsi. It did its job.
Yeah,
I don't even drink
I
coffee
know.
anymore,
I'm a Coke guy, and I was like, why don't I want Pepsi all of a sudden?
Well, don't worry if you're a Coke guy. It gets its moment later.
Okay.
So it's sitting here doing all this thinking that he finally, Gonzalez gives him a call. Yeah. And he's like, hey there, what? Thanks for pulling me off. I was getting bored hanging out.
Where you at?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I'm in your office. What do you? He's like, get back to the hospital.
I'm in your office eating all your candy.
It's a trap. And then he just rushes out. But we got some night slashers right outside the door with the pantyhose mask and everything and the axes. But of course, it's Cobra. He takes care of it. He just fucking blows these guys away. Breaks the fucking Pepsi sign. Fucking bum me out.
Rip Pepsi sign.
And so he kills them all.
Yeah.
There's like 3 of them. Takes care of it like that.
Yep. Pulls out a little notepad, writes down, you'll be a bitch.
While that's going on, this is where the night slasher finds a room, and it's like they got the curtain around it and everything.
Yep.
Pulls it across and starts stabbing furiously. But she's in the bathroom.
Yep. She pops
Thankfully, she's got a tiny bladder. It saved her fucking life.
Yep.
She always complaining about her fucking irritable bowel syndrome, and she's like, this has saved my life.
So she pops out of the bathroom just so they meet eyes.
Right.
And then she immediately shuts the door again and gets it locked. And so we get that nice shiny moment where he's like slashing through the door.
This is like the old school hospital where you had to share a bathroom with the other room. So there's another door. So she escapes that because he breaks through the door.
Yep.
I think in the other room, she finds the nurse that's been killed because there's like a body there.
Yeah.
And so she's fucking freaking out. She pulls the fucking fire alarm again.
Yep.
Guy, he hates, that's his biggest fear is fire alarms. So he takes off. He just blends into the crowd, even though he's totally a psychopath looking guy.
What do you mean? He's in a normal uniform. He doesn't have any blood on him because he hasn't been stabbing.
And there was,
people.
I thought also that there was a scene before this where he's in an elevator. It's very, I think, insensitive. Seems like what are you guys doing in the, like, apparently janitors aren't allowed to, like, they have to use the back fucking
Well, no, it
entrances.
makes sense because they're handling like dirty stuff, and they're like, you gotta sanitary.
I don't know. I thought it was very class conscious. I didn't like
That's
it.
fine. I think of all the other messages that could have been pulled out of this movie, that's not the one to take. But I'll keep it.
People have the power. Bernie forever, dude.
Bernie forever.
Okay, so Cobra finally shows up after right just in the not nick of time.
Yeah, the fire alarm's already gone off. Everyone's running, and he just notices her. He's like,
and then he's like, "I gotta get you out of here. I got a place."
Yeah.
He's like, there's got to be somebody on the inside.
Yeah.
How do they know all this stuff?
Exactly.
So he's like, I got a place. Don't worry about it. And like Monty's like, but the killer has a right to know where she is. You know, due process. And he's like, shut up. We're going to take her to this place. So fortunately, since Stalk is a cop, she weasels her way onto the, I don't know what you
Task
call it.
force.
Task force. There, we'll call it that. And she's like, okay, I'm with you, man. So they're going to drive her out to this place. This little foundry town that Stallone knows about.
And Stallone's going to try to, like, charm up Ingrid. He's eating an apple. He offers her a bite of apple. He's already gnawed, like, 90% of the apple.
Yeah,
down.
it's like literally a core. And she's just like, no.
No.
You don't like health food?
You like health food? So they're gonna take off, and they get, like, a block down the road, and Gonzalez gets cut off.
Yeah, they run into his car. And so Cobra's got Ingrid in his fucking super pimp fly sex mobile. And I don't know, you didn't care for that. I thought it was a great fucking chase scene.
I can't stand chase scenes. This is where the movie starts to go downhill for me.
No, I thought this was a really good old school chase scene because there's no quick cuts. These are like guys really doing stunts here.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
So Cobra's like, fuck, the best defense is a good offense. So when he's being chased, he's like right on the freeway. He's like, fuck it. Spins out, does a 180, pulls out his machine gun to start shooting the one car.
Jesus Christ, that sounds like something out of The Matrix. That was in this movie?
Yes.
Fuck.
And then he's like, oh, I took care of that guy. And then he pulls around again, but he doesn't. Night Stalker's still on his tail. He's in the back seat with a shotgun. He's got his henchman driving the car. So they're chasing each other, going through alleys. They're going through fucking a park. I thought this was a great scene. They go through a parking structure.
Yeah.
Then he's like, somehow Cobra starts chasing him. I don't remember how that happened, but they're being chased by Night Slasher.
It's like a classic cartoon when it's like you think you're chasing the other.
So Night Slasher, he just takes off the normal way. Cobra's like, fuck that. He's on the second level. He just fucking drives off the second level onto the road. And then they're on this fucking, what kind of road was this? It was like hills. It was like
yeah. No, that road was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It looked like something out of a Excite bike.
And so they're chasing him there. They're flying over these fucking hills. And then, of course, like for some reason, I don't know why this is, most action movies wind up on the wharfs.
Yeah, they always
so
do.
we're on the wharf, same wharf that Sho Kazuki has his warehouse where he keeps his mannequins. And
Good call.
They're like, so Night Stalker is like about to get away. I don't know what the fuck's going on with Stallone, but he runs into a fucking boat.
Yeah, he just kind of like loses control for a minute. I think
Car like flips over.
I think Ingrid grabs his leg a little too hard.
Nobody wearing seatbelts yet somehow. All Stallone gets is the classic little cut on the eyebrow.
Yeah.
That's all action heroes. You get shot in the left shoulder and you get the cut on the eyebrow.
Well, the right shoulder is your writing shoulder.
Right.
Or
your shooting shoulder.
Shooting shoulder. Thank you. Oh, man.
And he's like, God damn it, he got away. We got to get you to a safe house. So this is the third time we got to get Ingrid to a safe house.
Right.
So, and fucking Cobra's awesome car, as the license plate said, is totaled. So I don't know, they just get some other cars and they go, I got this place. Little sleepy little village called San Remo. Before we get there, we stop off at a little road stop cafe.
Oh, this is what I like. Building up characters. We get a little background.
Right. Well, first, like Monty's like, "Hey, give her to him." You know, he's just like all on the. I was like, "Are you part of the cult, Monty?" I thought they were going to reveal that he was part of the cult, but he's not. That's shocking because he's so much on the Night Slasher's dick in this fucking movie.
Original vending. He was part of it.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Okay, but he's like, this. I love this scene because like. The FBI is going to get involved. We can't have the FBI like on our tails. It's like, FBI, that's their job. They handle serial killers. Like, why wouldn't you want the FBI?
Yeah, no idea.
Apparently, there's some shifty shit going on in the L.A. Police department.
No one ever wants to allow the other rank to take over.
Okay,
like,
yeah,
it's
it makes
always
you
like,
look weak. Kind
yeah,
of thing.
exactly. It's a big.
So they're gonna drive upstate, little sleepy little town in San Marino, but they stop at this little diner first, where because apparently Gonzalez doesn't have diabetes yet, so he's like, I gotta buy 10 pounds of chocolate and candy and all this shit. Road stop, and this is where you
Backstory, man. It's development. So
well, the backstory is we learn that besides all this Pepsi product placement, Gonzalez is a Coke man.
he's a Coke dude.
So he takes a big swig off a
Yeah.
can of Coke. We see the label pointing out at the camera.
Oh, yeah.
And
Winks.
he winks. He's like, Coke is it. And then
Yeah.
he puts it down. And
The
we get a
only-
little interplay in between from Cobra and Ingrid, where she's just like, he's like, hey. First of all, Gonzalez is like, because she's like, I want to fuck this guy. How do I get in? Because he's like totally shutting her out.
Yeah.
Because he's a classic 80s good guy. He doesn't, his murder is his sex.
Yeah, he's like, Gonzalez tells her, he's like, yeah, I know he acts like a prick from the 50s, but he's a softie.
Which, first of all, he's like, he looks nothing like somebody from the 50s, but.
I think, like, with the car and the leather jacket and the glasses there,
Well,
and the jeans.
Well, no, he didn't wear he wore a trench coat for some reason.
He wore a trench coat later on, but I
Yeah.
thought he wore
Well,
leather.
Well, he had
in
a
the
trench.
beginning.
He had. I don't think it was. I don't think it was a leather, but it was
He goes leather at the beginning.
I don't think
And then
so.
he turns it in for the trench coat.
okay. But he's wearing a trench coat now. He's checking out some bobbleheads at this little stand.
He's flirting with the old lady,
Yeah.
which is driving Ingrid crazy because she's like, I'm young. I want to fuck you. And he's like way into this old lady.
And he's like, "Hey, I got it. I know the end." He's like, he whispers because call him this.
Yeah, he got a little secret.
And then so she rolls out. She's got this shit-eating grin. She's like, "I got you, Cobra."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Hey, Marion, what's up?"
Yeah.
And he's like, well, "What? How do you know that was my name?"
It's kind of wimpy, isn't it?
And she's like, "I think it's kind of hot." Not, but she wants to fuck him, so she's like playing the game. And he's like, I always want like a tougher name, like Alice.
Alice. So funny.
Yeah,
So
I had
funny.
to stop the laser disc because I was laughing
You
so
were laughing
fucking hard.
so
The
fucking
Pepsi was coming out my nose, and I was drinking Coke. That was the weird thing.
Yeah. The comedy doesn't stop there either because they got to go in and get a burger now.
Right.
And so Stallone sees this nice plaster.
This had to be an improv. He was just
it
like,
definitely
I got
was.
a great joke. I'm going to do this.
So he grabs it, and the joke is he's just like, hey, you think I can fit it on one wall? What? What was that?
I don't know. But before he does that, he does the classic, because he is a guy from the 50s, so he does a Fonzie move, and he hits the jukebox, and it goes on.
And so sits down after the burger gag.
She's
and
like,
the
well,
Fonz
she
move.
can't even pay attention to what he's saying, because she's just fire hose of ketchup on her fucking French fries.
And of course, Stallone has nothing bad to say about that.
Of course not. He's like, apparently she didn't grow up on Saturday morning cartoons, too, because there was the song, Don't Drown Your Folks. Like, hey, you can need a life preserver for them French fries? He's drowning them. And she's just like, and she's like, and then squirting more fucking ketchup.
She eats like 3 more ketchup.
He's like, you need some French fries for that ketchup?
Oh.
And then, fucking, it worked on Gonzalez. He's cracking up as he's eating 5 candy bars. He's cracking up in the background.
Teeth are just falling out while he's eating them.
And do they have any discussion, or does this begin and end with those bad jokes?
No, that's all you need. They get back on the road, and next thing you know, everything goes to hell again.
So while that's going on, we get a cut back. We see the Slashettes. They're prepping for battle. They're sharpening their axes. They're revving their motorcycles, because while they were at the diner, Stalk, that fucking traitor bitch, she got on the payphone and she calls up.
That's right.
And she's like,
she's riding with Gonzalez.
she's letting them know where they're going, because nobody else knows. Not even like Monty knows where they're going, because this is a town only Cobra knows about.
Yeah. 2 things. Stallone noticed her like making a call, and it doesn't immediately like alert him. He's not like call it off, but he's like, I got to keep an eye on her. The other thing in the little bonding, Ingrid asks him, "What do you do to relax?" And he says, "Get into trouble."
Okay.
He thinks he's so fucking cool.
I don't get into trouble.
So I don't know the last third, man. This is you, because I tuned out. I saw Lemon Farms, and that's it.
You fucking piece of shit. So we get to another We get to this little town of San Remo, little sleepy little village.
Yeah.
Pull into a motel, and this is a sex scene because it's the
yeah.
foreplay. Stallone, Ingrid's sleeping. Stallone's like watching over. Meanwhile, because he's all about cleaning, he is he's poster boy for an NRA because he's all about making sure your gun is clean and well maintained.
I don't think NRA would approve of somebody firing a gun 15 times, shoving it right into your pants, still loaded. I think that's a bad idea.
I'll take your word for that. So he's putting together this like machine gun. There was a whole thing on IMDb about it, but I don't care enough to remember.
Yeah,
but
and
it's like
it's the IMDb of firearms,
right? I will go check that out if you want to know. So he's putting it together. The gear up montage we all love from the action movies.
Oh yeah,
and since this is like 86, you said
86.
Gotta have that fucking laser scope.
Have to, and he points it at the mirror, so the laser comes.
It points right on his neck. He's like, that was badass. Scene,
Isn't this where he noted? Like he peers out the window again and sees Stalk on the phone.
Well, first she's like, Cobra, I need your dick now, stat.
Yeah,
and he's like, I guess if you need it, all right. So he just like ambles on over, and they do a very chaste off-screen boning.
Yeah.
And then he gets up, and then you're right. And then, like, Stalk, she thinks everyone's asleep, so she goes out to call Night Slasher to let her know what's up. And he catches her, but he's on to her at this point. But he's like, I'm gonna let her think I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, he's of course
he's like, why didn't you use the phone in your room? Oh, it's out of order.
Yeah, and
he's like, oh yeah, that sounds right. And then he just goes, all right, but he goes, so he's on to her. He's got everything prepared. He wants to fucking kill people, so he's kind of happy in a way.
Yeah, I mean, I believe he went back to his room and got the grenade. He's like, yes,
he had like 4 grenades.
Gets the grenades out, gets a second gun ready. Takes a nice swig of Pepsi because he's like, it's about time.
It's on. And so, cut to the next morning, we see the gang. They're on their motorcycles, riding up on the street, scaring the townsfolk. They murder the the sheriff of the town, and they're ready to fuck shit up. And they do fuck shit up because they just start blowing away this fucking. This is the worst motel. It's like a fucking shack. I'm sure it was just built to be blown up.
Yeah,
but so they start blowing it away and. Cobra's got his fucking grenades, and he's throwing shit, and he's got his laser scope, he's shooting people. Fucking shit up. And Tony Mealy gets shot because, like you said, he's here for comic relief. He's not good, But he doesn't die. He just gets shot, falls over.
He had a candy bar on the way.
At this time, Stalk's like, fucking, I'm with Night Slasher, so she's like with them now. She's not even pretending to be a cop anymore. And then... So Cobra's like, get in the truck, and then so Ingrid starts driving. He's like in the flatbed in the back, blowing away with a fucking machine gun, killing every motherfucker in sight, laughing it up, having a good old time.
Oh yeah,
and they're driving down the road. The Night Slasher crew, they made a blockade with cars set on fire across the street. Like, go through it, and she does, and they go through it, and I think that totals the car. So it was a bad idea.
Oh no, it got fucked up.
So they have to start running, and they I thought it was an orange grove. Was it a lemon grove?
It was a lemon grove.
Okay, so they run through that. Like, go to the foundry, and so she runs to the foundry, the Amanda Sparks factory.
Yeah,
and he's like still killing more people. He's picking them off.
He's got like this guy with a big sniper rifle, kind of tracking him. And he eventually, after he's got a couple more frags, he heads into the foundry himself.
Right.
And
so she heads in. Ingrid heads in first.
Yes.
There's one security guard. It's closed down because fucking NAFTA. And this is like we said, like every action movie has the abandoned Sparks factory. Like Griff said, abandoned fire factory.
There was so much fire.
Well, I mean, it's a foundry, so it's made for making steel. So there's a lot of molten metal and everywhere.
There's a little bit of we're meeting halfway here. Right. It's
anything we've learned from Over the Top is meet people halfway.
Meet people halfway.
And so there's a security guard. He's like in a control booth, and so he can't hear Ingrid. It's like soundproof. She's banging on it. He's like, "What? What'd you say?" And then Stalk comes in, fires at Ingrid, but it misses. Hits the security guard.
Rip.
He falls back against the control panel. Starts every machine in the factory up. There's literally molten steel all of a sudden, like out there. There's shit. There's sparks flying. There's hooks going back and forth. I don't think this is the way the foundry even works. But everything's fucking moving now. And so Ingrid goes, she hides.
Yeah, she gets away. Night Stalker is in there with her.
Yes, Night Stalker and Stalk.
And Stalk are
Night
both.
Slasher and Stalk.
Yeah. And so now we're going to follow Cobra into the foundry, though.
Right.
And he's still got that guy trailing him. But Cobra ends up, like, climbing a ladder. He ends up getting the high ground. And so...
Right. Well, he does a lot of cat and mouse things with the... Because there's a lot of, like, henchmen around.
Okay.
Because one move he does where he lays his gun, the laser scope, like, on top of something, so it makes... the guy thinks it's Cobra, because he sees the laser scope.
Yeah.
But Cobra's hiding, and he comes up behind him and, like, stabs him or some shit.
Nice. That's clever.
And then there was a scene where... I think he just set up a grenade on something, and the guys walked by and he shot the grenade and it blew up.
Perfect.
It's just mind games on mind games
It's
on mind
smart.
games. It's human chess he's playing. And then this is where you're talking about.
Yeah.
So yeah, Cobra gets up on a catwalk, and the guy with the sniper is underneath him. And fortunately, there happens to be like a barrel of oil that's like on the catwalk for some reason. It doesn't seem very safe. This is probably why this factory got shut down.
Probably.
It's not very safe. And he just pours the fucking gasoline, oil, whatever, onto the guy.
He alerts the guy.
Does
he like makes a noise or something.
Hey.
The guy hears him, turns around and shoots, misses, hits the oil barrel. It dumps out on him, and he's like, "It is pretty good."
And I can't believe we didn't even talk about this, because this was a big character trait.
We're gonna talk about it right
of
now.
Cobra. He always would have a match in his mouth, not a toothpick, a match.
Match.
And
Always.
thank God he had a match, because this guy's drenched in fucking flammable materials right now.
Yeah.
So what's the line he said?
He flicks that match and drops.
Oh, no, here's what he says, and this makes no sense. When you really think about it, it makes no sense. You have the right to remain silent. What does that have to do with anything?
Nothing.
And the guy's obviously screaming because he's on fire.
He's on guy on fire. If you're into that, you're gonna get a
Yeah.
nice cut of it.
Yes. They do CGI now, but this was the old school days. Guys were
man.
really on fire. And so I don't remember how the Stock gets shot too. You think she's dead. She's not, because this is the showdown. Finally.
Yep.
Cobra runs up, gets the drop on the Night Slasher, because Night Slasher just has his axe with him.
Yep.
I think he might have a gun. I don't fucking remember. But Cobra's got his machine gun with a laser scope on him. You're done. And then Night Slasher rips off this class. I had to write down this classic speech. He's like, "You want to go to hell, huh, pig? You want to go to hell with me? It doesn't matter, does it? We are the hunters. We kill the weak so the strong survive. You can't stop the new world. Your filthy society will never get rid of people like us. It's breeding them. We are the future. Know your history." But and then he's just about to shoot him, and that's where Stalk comes in and jumps on him.
Yeah.
She does the Jason move where you think she's dead, but she's like, nah, knocks the gun away. So now it's all about fisticuffs.
Yep.
So
I think it was like chain and knife fight.
yes, Stallone had a big length of chain, and then the Night Slasher had his fucking Rambo knife.
Yeah.
With the spikes on the thing that covers this knuckle.
Yeah,
thing.
he had like a whole thing that covered his hand.
So meanwhile, she's just hiding, watching everything, totally hot for this. She's like, "Oh my God, this is so fucking hot." And I'm not even talking about the fucking molten metal. This is like sexually hot.
It's going to be hard to keep her interested. Well, then again, he probably goes out and murders every other day.
Right. So that's the only way he can get an erection, is murdering somebody.
I was going to say, the only time he really seems to be
That's
filling
classic.
out those jeans is when he's killing.
Classic 80s fucking hero, man. You don't get hard until you kill somebody.
I mean, yeah.
So that's probably what started that whole autoerotic asphyxiation shit.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, well, I can't kill somebody. I'll try to kill myself, and maybe I'll get
Good point.
So, yeah, so back and forth. Stallone's whipping the chain. He's like, "You pig, hot pig, pig." And he's like, And they're like, they do the scene where the bad guy gets on top of him, and he's got the
knife, or they always do that.
Well, it's even worse because he's got the spiked handle, and he's like pushing it right to Stallone's face.
Yeah.
But then Stallone fucking flips it over, and he's on top, and he's fucking pounding the shit out of this guy. And that's right there. He just beat the courage out. You just see what a bitch Night Slasher is.
Oh,
now.
yeah.
Even though he's fucking twice the size of Stallone. Stallone's like 5'6", and he's like with heels in his boots. And he's kicking, but he's still he's got righteous fucking anger behind his fucking move. So he's beating the hell out of the Night Stalker. And then he does just as that's happening, this giant hook just conveniently starts coming up behind us. And then Stallone gets this Cobra, gets this idea, and he's like, I think I could use that. He didn't say it, but he thinks that. So he grabs this guy who's probably like 230 pounds. I mean, they had to have CGI to do this because Stallone couldn't pick him up.
Oh, for sure.
Picks him up, throws him on this gigantic fucking hook.
Oh, yeah.
And then was there even a fucking line? I don't even remember. There wasn't. That was, you pointed it out. There's no fucking one-liner now.
There's zero one-liner. He uses one-liners all fucking movie. Nothing. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't say, you look wet, let me hang you out to die. Nothing.
That was a pretty good line, Griff.
Thank you.
But what he does, though, he like, I don't even know, maybe this is a real thing in a foundry, I don't know, but it's just like a corridor that shoots flames. So he just throws him down this corridor because he's hanging suspended from this thing, and he just burns to a crisp.
Pretty good.
All the bad guys are dead.
All the cops show up afterwards, just in time to see him kill everybody. Monty starts chewing him out.
Well, no, Monty's like, look, I mean, I don't approve of what you think, but we got off to a bad start. I think your tactics are fucked up, but I kind of respect you.
Yeah. No, he's like, you got your way, I got my way. You could have been more subtle about it, but like, hey, agree to disagree. And
then Stallone's like, Cobra's like, you're right. He puts out his hand out, got those sweet leather gloves. We forgot to talk about that. He's always got the sweet leather gloves on. And gives and the mirrored shades. I can't believe we didn't talk about this badass outfit he wore. But if you've seen the movie poster, you know what we're talking about.
We've been plastering, the social medias with pictures of him. So
he puts out his hand like a gentleman. They shake hands, and then the guy Monty goes to let go, and he's holding on to him.
He pulls a trump, starts tugging at him with the handshake,
and then he just fucking pops Monty in the face.
Oof.
But he deserved it. I mean, because he cares about criminals and their rights. Tell it to the judge, as Cobra said earlier.
Yeah.
And then the captain's like, "Hey, you did great. You killed everybody. Like, no paperwork today, guys. We're taking the day off." It's like this police department is like the Marine station in American Ninja, where they're just like partying all the time.
Oh my god!
He's like, "Woo, we're gonna go to the beach."
He does bust out a cooler full of Pepsi.
Right.
He's like, "Everybody."
Ice cold Pepsi, anyone? But he goes, look, anything you want, Cobra. You did a great job. Well, I'd like a new car. Sorry, can't do that. You can't get a new car. It's not in the budget. And he's like, okay, well, then I get the next best thing. So he just fucking steals one of the bikers' motorcycles, throws Ingrid on the back, riding off into the sunset, hit the power ballad.
Boom.
That's it, people.
That's
I hope you enjoyed it.
That's Cobra.
Merry Christmas to all our listeners.
I mean, we rattle off several different Christmas action movies that you could partake in. There's a lot to go around.
But watch Cobra first.
Yeah, watch Cobra.
And then you probably are like, I don't need to watch any other ones. Unless Golan-Globus Theater's talking about it. And we're not, because it's our only Christmas movie we're doing.
Well, we talked about a couple of them already.
Well, I'm saying this is the only one we're doing.
For the month.
You're right, Griff. If you really want to check out the other ones that we've covered, you can always go back to our old episodes. Invasion USA,
go dig through that library.
Highly underrated episode, Griff.
That's right.
So, Griff, it's Christmas time. Or actually, December 25th. Very important day, Griff. It's, of course, the 5-month birthday of Ava the Action Puppy, our unofficial mascot. That's, of course, what everyone's celebrating, right?
Yeah. Happy month anniversary to Ava.
5 months.
5-month
fucking
anniversary.
Built like a goddamn tank. She's so fucking heavy now.
Snores like a motherfucker.
Snores like a motherfucker. In fact, today, I don't know. She crawls into my lap today, and then she decides, she crawls up, her chest is on my face.
Yeah.
She tried to smother me, Griff. I think she tried to kill me.
Probably.
Because I'm not kidding, man. She's like a fucking block of cement. My eye hurt. My eyeball hurt for a few days.
Your face is a little droopy today.
Well, no, that's my Stallone impression.
Oh, okay.
But so that's probably why I was a little irritable earlier today, because my eye was hurting me.
That makes sense.
And I didn't have my Duda coffee this morning.
Yeah, that's true.
But Griff, next week, is it the day after?
Yeah, it's the day after Christmas.
Okay. We're going to be doing. I'm going to give myself a Christmas present, because we're going to be covering this. This is a very. Nobody talks about this movie anymore, but if you had HBO in the early 80s, you've seen this movie 5 million times, because I did.
Yeah.
I'm talking about The Soldier. And you're probably like, what? The Soldier? Yeah, The Soldier. I'm going to be honest, I couldn't tell you fuck all about the plot of this movie, but I remember it to this day. It's 35 years later. I haven't seen this movie in 35 years. There's like at least 4 scenes vividly that stand out in my mind. So the story, I'm sorry, the story might suck, but the action is fucking on point in this movie. If you're a fan of this show, there's a surprise coming in the movie. I'm not going to tell you. You got to listen to the episode to hear the surprise, but if you will be satisfied if you're the fan of the show with the surprise in this movie. Starring Ken Wall, who never really panned out. His career didn't really take off. Klaus Kinski, one of the weirdest German actors in the history of movies. I believe it has something to do with terrorists, but I'm not sure.
I've seen this 5 million times. I think it is.
I saw it 5 million times 35 years ago. So, but I'm telling you, the action is good. Do not sleep on this episode. I know people are already tuning. Griff is tuning out as I'm talking about it. But no, don't sleep on it.
You keep mentioning actors. I don't even remember the Robert Almost Jr.
Edward James Olmos.
Yeah, I don't
know. He was in.
We don't need to go.
He was with Yakov Smirnoff. Did a movie together. But so check that out, and everybody have a good Christmas this year, and on this cold winter's night, always keep it warm.
Of course, and big shout out to James Brown Memorial Day as well. Of course, we have some fans who celebrate that, and special shout out to him or them.
R.I.P. James.
R.I.P. All right, next week.